Well, when last I left you, we were in this Nimmo Bay, spent 5 nights there, and finally we were reluctantly pulled ourselves out of that. But we have to start heading south because at some point the weather's going to turn. It's been very good for the last while, but that probably won't hold, so we should get motoring. In this video, we're going to show you some scenery as we left Nimmo Bay and came through these narrow channels here. It's very pretty through here. We had to kind of watch the currents through here. With the tide changes, they can get really strong currents going through here. So we had to kind of wait for just the right slack tide. So we left fairly late in the afternoon, motored through here, and then down into this Carriden Bay that we haven't stayed at before. And it actually turned out to be quite a nice place. There's a little estuary here, and there's lots of birds around. But the highlight was the scene out, looking out to it. We could see this big peak right here, and that is Mount Stevens, right close to where we were in Nimmo Bay. Next day, we got up and we had a fairly long trip to get to Kwatsi Bay was our goal, which is up this Tribune Channel, right up here. So we left Carriden Bay, came down past Sullivan Bay, along through this channel here, over to here, and kind of got into the same area we had been about a week and a half ago when we were in Nimmo Bay and went up Kingcome Inlet. This time we kept going down through here, Penphrase Channel, and then took the long, slow route up Tribune Channel and got into Kwatsi Bay here. Now, I've done a few videos on Kwatsi Bay. It's just spectacular. You can see from the satellite view, you're just down right in a very sheltered bay surrounded by steep mountainsides. When it rains, you can get dramatic waterfalls all over. Right now, with the weather in August being so warm and dry for the last week, we're not going to get that, but we did last year if you wanted to check that out. Anyway, a lot of the video footage of motoring along those two trips and some footage from Carriden Bay. Enjoy. Navigating us through a little bit of current in this passage here.
3.5 knots. Back up and forth.
It's like it goes back and forth.
Yeah, we can feel it. It just lets us go. Hits us again.
Yeah. just a tiny little boat in Turnbull Cove. It's just got a tiny little helicopter on it. Wow. Well, that was a nice trip down from Nimmo Bay. Just did a few hours today just to get past all the tidal currents through all those narrow passages. We stopped off in an anchorage called Carriden Bay, very close to the anchorage Claydon that we stayed at before we went up to Nimmo Bay. Nice and calm here right now. It's a little breezy this afternoon, but it's calmed right down. This anchorage is really cool because you get a nice view of Mount Stevens over there. Straight out over there. So when we were at Nimmo Bay in the last video, we were just sort of at the base of that big mountain. We were so close to it though we couldn't actually see it. Just one of the peaks I could see from a certain part of the bay. Anyway, we're gonna overnight here, and then tomorrow we're probably gonna head up to Kwatsi Bay because Anne wants to get over to Night Inlet and go up to a kind of a cove up there. I think it's Glendale Cove, and try to anchor there, because that's where a lot of grizzlies hang out this time of year. There's actually a resort up there. So we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. We've been to Kwatsi Bay a couple times. It's a really cool spot too. Well, a very peaceful night last night here in Carriden Bay. Just had the one other boat. This morning I got up around 7 and it was pea soup. You couldn't see a thing, just a wall of white. But now we're up around getting close to 10 o'clock, starting to dissipate. It's supposed to be a sunny day and actually get fairly warm. Maybe mid 70s, low 20s Celsius. See some waves. The other boat just departed. Yeah, you can see it starting to dissipate. Got some blue sky there. I actually quite enjoyed this anchorage. I'm going to mark it down. It's got a beautiful view of that Mount Stevens. And over this way there's a creek that comes out. And out front of the creek there was maybe a dozen mergans or ducks that were fishing, snorkeling over there. And there was quite a few Bonaparte gulls flying around in here, so not too bad for wildlife. We'll wait a bit longer before we shove off, but pretty soon it should clear up, and then maybe we'll see that big mountain up there. Probably going to wind our way north of Broughton Island, past Sullivan Bay, and then down through Penphrase Channel till we get to Tribune Channel and up to Kwatsi. It'll probably make for a pretty good day, maybe 4.5 hours. And that'll put us pretty close to a Night Inlet for our next leg of the journey. Well, the sun's come out on us. There's a bit of a fog bank right out in the channel there. And the tip of Mount Stevens is just starting to show. That's a pretty cool shot. Well, we'll leave the crab boat in peace to collect all its crabbies for market. Nice spot though. Carriden Bay. That view was spectacular this morning as the fog cleared. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Man loves foggy views.
I do, so moody.
So what's the plan today?
We're going to Kwatsi Bay.
Kwatsi Bay, yay!
We're going to go along on the top of Broughton Island.
Yeah.
And past Sullivan Bay and up to Kwatsi.
Getting a little warmer than normal weather and drier than normal weather, but we paid for it with all that wind and rain early. You can see that huge yacht that we passed yesterday in Turnbull Cove. It's coming out there. The one with the helicopter on the back. So we're back where we were a few weeks ago. That's the entrance to go up Kingham Inlet there in Wakeman Sound. We visited Nimmo Bay. There's Bald Mountain, familiar landmark. I'm gonna go over this way down to Tribune Channel, and we can head up to Kwatsi Bay. Awesome day. We're both down to shorts and t-shirt. Hardly any wind, lots of sunshine. Gotta love it. Right near the end of August now. I think it's August 28th today, if I got that right. So we're just passing the entrance to Sullivan Sound there. Pretty soon we'll be in Tribune Channel on our way up to Kwatsi. Breeze picked up a bit as we came along here, but I think that it's going to calm down once it gets on our backs again. Not sure what's going on here. A whole whack of boats. And by the looks of it, someone's doing some writing on the rocks there. Maybe retracing an old petroglyph. Got quite the audience. Well, we're able to get ourselves a nice little spot here in Kwatsi Bay. It's actually only 4 boats. There's a sailboat way up in the other side, and then a pretty good size trawler and another one deeper into the bay. Nice and calm. Supposed to be a calm night. So we'll stay here at least tonight. Anne's thinking maybe she might want to stay another night just to rest up a bit. It's been a long couple hauls to get here, and it's one of our favorite spots. You can see why, surrounded by these steep mountainsides. A little tricky to anchor because it's very deep. The middle of the bay is 27 meters, but that's a little deep for our amount of chain and rode that we carry, so we're just on the 10-meter line, kind of close to shore, but we should be okay. Stay tuned.